So Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker nears $1 billion after 3 weeks. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker has only continued to decline. The fact that Star Wars The Last Jedi grossed $1 billion in this amount of time, The Last Jedi grossed $1 billion by this time. Endgame grossed $1 billion in a week. Infinity War took 2 weeks. Jurassic World took 2 weeks. And of course, you had movies like Joker and Aladdin that took a month to pass $1 billion as well. The Lion King took 3 weeks. Frozen 2, even that garbage, took 3 weeks. That overrated trash, that is Frozen 2. But unlike all those other movies, Star Wars is on a downward spiral. Star Wars won't have any help. Unlike The Lion King. No matter how many times the Disney tried to cheat the fetus, tried to get record openings for movies like the Lion King remake, which if the movie was actually not artificially, artificial box office, some of the box office was artificial by Disney, I think the movie will be more around 1.2 to 1.3 billion dollars. Same thing with Frozen 2. For Frozen 2, a brand movie should not be grossing 1.3 billion. Or Captain Marvel, which I doubt that success was really due to people really actually wanted to go see Captain Marvel. Even though the theaters were empty in that movie. Conspiracy theories aside, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker will never, ever pass The Rise of Skywalker. That is guaranteed. And that's what all the media, they keep saying that, Star Wars goes in $1 billion. It's a good sign for the movie industry. It's proof that Disney is this great company, can do no wrong. Well, Disney, of course, put all the eggs in one basket. All of the movies next year don't interest most people. Okay? Besides, the Pixar movies and Black Widow. That's the only movies Disney has next year. Does anyone really want to see Mulan remake? Besides the same people who went to go see the other remakes, and most people are getting sick of the the movies as well. Okay, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, despite it taking #1 for a third straight week, will probably fall down to #2 next week because of 1917, a superior movie to Rise of Skywalker as well. So Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, it made $43 million and it passed $453 million. But here's the funny thing: it is still behind Rogue One. It's gonna be behind Rogue One. It does it for Facing. If it does Rogue One for Facing, it goes $1.10 billion. And Star Wars movies don't really have massive international sales because they decided to kill Star Wars in China, and it will still finish its run below The Last Jedi. So even though this movie will gross $1 billion, okay, like how Transformers: The Last Night was still considered a box office success, despite it being being the worst selling Transformers movie. And it prompted Tim to change Transformers and delay it and change it to how Bumblebee is now. To change the franchise so it isn't like Michael Bay's garbage movies. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars is going to see the same thing. If the movie, this is supposed to be the end game of Star Wars, the finale of Star Wars, the last movie in the Skywalker saga, and it can't even pass freaking Rogue One and Justice for Inflation. It can't pass Rogue One. It might not even pass it domestic or its actual worldwide either. That's how poorly this movie has been doing. It may not pass Joker at the box office either, which means Joker will have more money than Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker and Star Wars than The Rise of Skywalker. It will also have to pass beating Aladdin. It might not even pass Aladdin as well. Considering how poorly Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is doing compared to Rogue One, considering that Rogue One will probably outsell it by the end of next week, Star Wars is probably no well good as dead. And the media is still saying how great Star Wars is doing, saying that this movie was originally going to gross $450 million domestically worldwide and end with $1.5 billion worldwide. This movie will probably not even pass Rogue One. And where do I get my data? Well, there was a site called The Numbers, and we have The Last Jedi versus The Rise of Skywalker here. The Rise of Skywalker is doing significantly worse than The Last Jedi, almost around $80 million. And now we look at Rogue One. Rogue One versus Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Rogue One has sold 2 times more money than Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. And considering that next week it will decline as well to around $3 to $4 million, Rogue One will eventually catch up to Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker and eventually beat out Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker domestically, which is proof that Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is a terrible movie. It is a complete pile of garbage that no one wants to watch any twice in a row. No one cares about Disney Star Wars anymore, and Disney Star Wars has been on this downward trend since the first movie, The Force Awakens. And of course, it doesn't for a reason. It's just absolutely laughable that it's nearly that Rogue One has already passed Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So the movie will never pass $550 million domestically. The movie will never pass $560 million domestically and past $1.1 billion. $1.1 billion is seeming less and less likely by the day. So, probably by the end of next week, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker will not pass $1 billion, and it will continue on declining. And it will probably pass $1 billion in its 5th or 6th weekend, which is pretty bad for Star Wars as a franchise. Possibly its 7th week. But if it continues dropping 70%, it could probably not even, probably barely pass $1 billion like The Dark Knight did all the way back in 2008. And of course, if it does The Dark Knight for a reason, The Dark Knight completely destroys Disney The Rise of Skywalker as well. Considering The Dark Knight tickets cost less when The Dark Knight came out as well. And also Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is being destroyed by The Dark Knight adjusted for inflation. It's being destroyed by The Dark Knight. The Disney Star Wars just got destroyed. Got destroyed by The Dark Knight adjusted for inflation. Because of course he adjusts The Dark Knight adjusted for inflation, it will gross $1.2 billion worldwide. $1.2 billion, that's a lot of money compared to its unadjusted gross of $1.004 billion. To just barely over $1 billion. So Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker will probably fall behind Rogue One and Star Wars story by the end of its box office run, considering how poorly Disney Star Wars has performed. Considering it'll probably only perform 3 to 4 million next week, making Rogue One literally 15 million behind Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, making Disney Star Wars a big failure, and making The Last Jedi always be ahead of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker forever. Goodbye.